Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, runners of all ages, and welcome to a group race here in the 2022 Dragon Warrior Randomizer Summer Tournament. We have a matchup this evening between Big Slamoo and Gambit017. My name is Bob Pineapple, and joining me this evening is Aaron2U2. Aaron, how you doing today?
I am fantabulous. How are you?
Doing great. Looking forward to this matchup. We're in the throes of group play here in the beginning of the tournament. The action's been fast and furious. Big Slamoo and Gambit, a part of the Magidrakee group. And for those of you unaware, the group stage play, of which there are 8 groups and 7 or 8 racers in each group. Everyone in each group will play each other one time, and then the top 3 in terms of record from each group will move on to the next round. So we've got a lot of Dragon Warrior Randomizer coming at you over the next few weeks.
Indeed, and I think today this is something like the 9th or 10th race today. It's been jam-packed, and not surprising considering just how many races there are. Everybody's rushing to get the stuff in before the last minute when you know life might just hit you sideways and then you're not able to figure it out. But here we are today and getting a little bit of a look at our starting setup here. What do you think about the stats on the screen there, Bob?
Well, you know, as a commentator and as a spectator, I respect it. As a runner, gross.
Yeah, the silver lining in the stat line is that you have that 12 agility, so at least you can run away from the things that you can't kill.
Very true, and we are off to the races here. So we're going to see what's, of course, in the chest surrounding King Lorik here shortly. We have the Fairy Flute right off the bat. Torch, and of course Magic Key is going to be in the background. No spells, so no fudging anything to hold on to that key.
That's a sneaky flute today. They put it in one place where you can't possibly not get it. Unless you just do a reset, but I'm not sure we would see that out of the players today.
DK making his displeasure known of the flute being the very first thing you find in the chest. Such an anti-DK seed.
Alright, and both of them finding a red slime, that is a great enemy to see. It is one of 2 enemies that they can kill it with 5 strength. I think they're guaranteed to do damage with 5 strength on a red slime.
Indeed they are. Drakees are possible. Oh my dear. Drakees have Dragon Lord 2 breath, and they have both found that out at nearly the same time.
Yeah, that's not going to work so well for them. But they did find something else they could fight, and the Drakee isn't the best enemy with their stats anyway. So, hey, just run. Don't have to deal with it anymore.
So far, red slimes seem to be the option. Magidrakees, of course, are off the table. Regular Drakees off the table. So it's going to be a matter of who finds the most red slimes here in the early stage.
Indeed, everything's going to be about that enemy spawns. I'm just getting to, the 5 experience. Probably 3 red slimes down. Although, I see Gambit going after the Magidrakee. Oh, he threw the torch. But, he's still got a ways to go after that.
And Magidrakees have sleep, which, wow. Big Slamoo throwing their torch at a regular Drakee, and that's going to get him to level 2. We have 3 power, 1 speed, 0 hit points, 21 MP, but no spells.
Alright, must be, just saving all of those MP up for one really big spell later, maybe. But, I'll take the 3 strength. Now he could fight the Drakees, not that he really wants to. Scorpion, however, is gonna be a little rough. I think that's, you're not doing any damage to a Scorpion and definitely not to a Wolf.
So the experience is a little hard to come by here in the early going. Gambit is going to go ahead and risk it with this Drakee just to try and get something to happen, but nothing doing. Heading right back home.
Yeah, the the Drakeys are just having a little bit of a fire party out of our runners today. They aren't able to do much of anything. Not even getting the first effort to run away.
Yeah, unfortunately, especially for Big Slamoo, that power gain, kind of nice going to level 2, but Red Slimes seem to remain the only real things that he can take care of.
Well, either way, you'll keep fighting those red slimes, or you'll fight the Drakeys, and you might take out enough to gain that level. We're looking at 17 experience for the next one, which Gambit might be able to get it on this Drakee. It's actually, I just, maybe spoiled that a little bit. Has done some damage to it, though, and it does.
There it is. I admire the persistence. Red Slimes finally make a return for Big Slamoo.
Magidrakee, again, just a little too much. I think with 8 strength, the best enemy they could hope to see right now would be a ghost. They'd be doing 1 to 2. And obviously, well, Magidrakees also have DL2 breath.
Well, 2/3 of the Drakee family have DL2 breath. Must be genetic.
Yeah, full wombo. Just, stay away from the bats.
Oh, and unfortunately, they just do not want to stay away from our runners.
He does get away. It's too bad. If there was a magician around here, that torch use might have had, some better options, but I think we're just looking at what, Red Slime, Drakee, and Magidrakee in this first zone, or maybe the Scorpion. I think the Scorpion was in the zone to the right.
I think the Scorpion was in the zone to the right, where he also ran into that wolf on the next step.
So this leaves us at a point where basically you need to just hope the game gives you what you're looking for. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot to do. There's too much swamp nearby. I don't know if that's blocking all of our progress out, but it's bad enough. And here we go. DL2 breath and sleep and DL2 breath.
Now, there's definitely two different philosophies going on here between Big Slamoo and Gambit. Gambit is charging full bore into the Drakees, which is how they got to level 2. Big Slamoo is running from them. So we're going to see which of these ends up paying off here first.
True. It does feel like we have, 25 or 20% red slimes, 40% Drakees, 40% Magidrakees, or something along those lines. But hey, there's another one down, 7 experience. We're 13 to 7 right now, but I think Slamoo just needs 4 more to get to level 3 and maybe some relief from this starting malaise.
One more red slime will do it for Big Slamoo.
I wonder how much damage throwing a flute at an enemy would do.
We may need a ruling from a Gru on that.
Gambit making quite a run and gets all the way down here, sees a town. What is this coal? It's Grinham, which if you had any money could be good, but I guess you can buy a torch. There we go. That could be useful. That's almost guaranteed experience if he uses it the right way.
Yeah, this is a bit of a heads-up play here to go in and buy that torch.
Unfortunately, the flute couldn't be something a little bit more useful, like a cursed belt that he could sell and make some money off of. finding another town. And here's Cole. This could actually be something useful here because we have that search spot item. So 80% chance for a key item, 2 out of 7, 2 out of 6 at this point to be really good. And it was the armor.
The armor, wow.
And meanwhile, Slamu picks up level 3 with its 20 points of strength. So level 3 is our escape level here.
And we have Grave here over on Gambit's screen.
So he will be heal walking, getting an extra hit point back, but he's still pretty much dead meat to just about anything. Even with the armor, he's not really defense breaking much of anything, and the agility is still pretty bad.
Yep, and that Droll Magi is going to send him right home.
He got very close to that, but it just wasn't enough.
We have level 4 on Big Slamu's screen. 14 power, 4 speed, 2 hit points, 2 magic. There, our power is starting to show up. And hurt more. So, bit of a paper tiger, this seed here in the beginning.
Yeah, it was just gated at the onset. Now everything seems to be opening up. Slamu just taking out a Warlock. Sometimes people think with Hurtmore you gotta kill enemies with Hurtmore that have close to Hurtmore HP, but take what you can get until you get some levels. And now Gambit walks into Breckenary and walks immediately out of Breckenary.
Checks the spark over bridge, as one should.
The amount of things that Gambit has found is just pretty high, but they aren't really able to do anything with it yet. I mean, obviously the armor is a huge find, but they're still just looking for the remaining 5 experience that they're going to need to get out of this prison.
I appreciate the raid, Edge. Welcome in.
Yes, thank you very much for the raid, and you are here just in time to see Big Slamu learn Stop Spell. So we've been currently gated until level 3 with any sort of offensive abilities. Level 3 gave us a bunch of strength, level 4 got another good dose of strength and hurt more. And now Slamu's in a position where he's trying to find enough stuff to kill to get out of here, because I think it's 11 minutes and you've barely left zone 0. You really feel like you need to be doing something.
Big Slamu electing to explore to the northeast first, so has not found the armor yet.
Now, but he is finding a lot of enemies that he's unable to do anything against. Even with 30 agility, he's still not a favorite against a blue dragon to run, and the blue dragon let him know it. Well, commented in chat, this is something I've picked up from the last race that I did. I announced Gambit's last race in the tournament, and they do not generally try to dive anything if it's dark. Which, if you don't know what you're doing, that's 100% the right call. Because you're just going to lose a whole bunch of time bonking into everything until you got enough experience that is 100% what you should be doing.
So Big Slamu going to check the weapon shop here in Breckenary. Got that flame sword. There's a hand axe as well.
He does skip on buying the clothes, though. Interesting.
And Gambit finally gets that level 3.
It's good news, but it's also kind of like, oh shoot, I wish I would have gotten this a little earlier. But then maybe you could say that for everything.
Slamu finding, yeah, it looks like Swamp North. Gonna go ahead and walk it. Manages to hero walk all the way through and comes out somewhere. Nothing in the vicinity.
And considering how much stuff we've already seen on Gambit's side, you wonder how much he's going to find over here. Because Gambit's found about half of the towns and almost half of the caves already.
It's very true. And Gambit now has picked up Hurtmore, so things are opening way up.
Yeah, once you get that, this experience gap is absolutely nothing right now because, well, so I say you find a good enemy like a Druid Lord to hurt more, and you're basically tied up. This is more in Slimu's favor right now. Did Gambit? Oh, Gambit's going in heavy on the torches.
Which makes perfect sense if Indeed does not like to dive things in the dark.
Oh, I have a feeling they really want to hit that grave. Those 3 chests are just really tempting. And as I say that, nope, I think that is where they're going.
Rogue Scorpion, a great enemy right now.
Absolutely. Anything that is in like the 60s and above experience is usually safe enough that you can possibly take a hit from, but also valuable enough that you don't feel like you've lost something using the hurt more.
And just like that, Gambit has caught up to Big Slamu in levels. And is back in Grave, so hopefully we're going to get a check here. Ah, Demon Knight, though. This might be a problem. And it is.
Yeah, they can be nasty. They have quite... well, they don't have a ton of agility. They're mostly like attack-oriented, but they just tend to be a pain. Maybe it's because you're always trying to run from them that it feels like you fail more often than you do. And again, we're kind of in like an experience Olympics right now with Slamu hitting 6. 1, 0, 9, 11. Decent stats.
Another couple castings of Kurt Moore, which is nice.
Yeah, the Hurtmore casts have been... Or the MP is coming along now. At the beginning, we had 0, and then we gained 20 right off the bat with no spells. That was kind of fun.
Beta pointing out, landing a Hurtmore on a Star Weaver impossible. Not only that, but taking it down with 1.
And I don't know if we saw that before, but Drolls also have sleep and just weak breath. So they have the I don't know what you don't call it the Wombo combo. Is it like the
It's
combo?
Like Diet Wombo, I like to call it.
Okay. Now Gambit picking up their level 7, while Slamu looks like he's a little over halfway to 8. He's making this progress down here again, which we've seen Gambit do a few times, and Slamu has just not had the same enemy luck, I think, to actually make it through. But getting through the Wyvern there, and it shouldn't be too much longer, except he's running into like everything every 2 steps. It is fun to see somebody use Hurt more on a Metal Scorpion. Like, that's definitely the thing to do, but it's also funny because you can kill them with a regular Hurt sometimes, but they're worth so much.
Big Slamu has now found Garenham and is going to check the weapon shop. Got half plate, got a Silver Shield. Silver Shield is in play.
Skips on the small shield, that's interesting. Maybe he has plans for the rest of the money.
He's very close to Cole, so we'll see if Big Slamu moves in the correct direction here to grab that Erdrick's armor.
I wouldn't be surprised if he does exactly that, because usually if you're going one direction, you tend to just keep going that direction when you're doing your initial exploration. It's easier to map at least, although I'm not sure if Slimu maps. So a lot of times the Z2R players, like he is, do not map because they're already used to randomized overworlds in a place where you can't possibly map.
Gambit now checking the weapon shop and is going to find out that a silver shield is present in the seed.
Looks like they wanted to go back there, but I think we're still missing keys. It would have been interesting if one of those 3 chests in Grave were a key. That's always probably the thing you want to find the most whenever you find early Grave. It's just a key sitting there for you.
0711 or 6 or 01176 for Big Slamu on that level 8, and the spell of return.
Yeah, return's always a nice thing to find somewhere early, just so you don't have to worry about it later. Don't have to worry about keeping wings with you or what have you when you have to work back.
The HP could be better. The MP is not bad. The agility is finally starting to catch up, but yeah, stats are not overwhelmingly great.
Yeah, Slamu just met the Red Death, unfortunately. Gambit clears out the first floor of Grave. I don't think we saw anything terribly interesting, though. I think there was like an herb and a torch or something.
According to DK in chat, herb, wings. Wonderful.
That sounds like that could be somebody's supper.
Oh, I really could go for some wings right now.
Oh, Gambit, 6 gold short of the hand axe. They won it. I think we might see him go out, pick up 1 enemy, and come right back.
I would not be surprised. The Rogue Scorpion would certainly do it.
Guelph in chat saying that the Grave was a KFC. As long as you say it in that order and not the opposite order.
And level 9 brings us 5053. These levels have not been amazing for the past handful here.
No, just some fairly static stat growth. The HP is probably the most limiting factor right now. Agility is at a nice point where you're 50% to run from at least, everything short of reds. Yeah, gotta find Hawksness and find out that it's guarded by a blue dragon or something.
So with experience being, while not equal, certainly within grasp, and exploration being what it is, Gambit having the Erdrick's armor, I think you kind of have to feel like he's slightly ahead here.
Well, it's probably too early to say much of that, even if you want to say it. It just, I don't know. We saw Desert Town. Gambit was unable to get over there. What are we missing at this point? Hawksness, Cantling? Is that it?
I believe Rimmelder is also missing.
Yes, Rimmelder. Forgot about that one. And it looks like that cave that we saw over the water, Slamu's going to be able to get to it, but that was a heck of a walk around. And by get to it, I mean might get to it through this terrible swamp with no healing magic and just relying on herbs.
Star Wyverns have heal, which, alright.
Little annoying, and finds Mountain and the Red Dragon.
Oh boy, Fun Police on the top floor of Mountain Cave.
That means they're in Swamp 2, or, well, Swamp as well. I shouldn't say Swamp 2, because there's only one floor, and it could be confusing. Gambit, however, making their way through Swamp for the first time. Yeah, having to double up on Star Wyvern with Hurtmore's isn't great. Probably still better than trying to swing with the axe, though, just because of the lack of healing. You'd rather waste 10 MP than 5 MP and half of your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And is there anything on this Swamp Island? I don't think we've seen it yet. And is Slamoo going right back? It kind of seems like it.
Yeah, it certainly seems that way. Gambit, meanwhile, has found Hawksness.
So Hawksness is on the second continent there. So there is something you have to do over there, or probably want to do. I don't know. We'll see if we get any key items. Have we seen a cursed belt yet?
I do not believe we have.
Of course, we haven't had a whole lot of chest checks. Just the throne room and I think grave and whatever was in coal. So that's about it. But I don't know. Maybe we'll get a enemy check here, and there's at least I'd say a 2 out of 7 chance that something that Gambit should be able to dispatch.
It's a blue dragon, so unless we get real lucky with the Hurtmores here, lands the first one. Lands the second one.
Yeah, do the math. That's 49 over whatever 16 squared is. But
and it's the sword. It's the sword.
Almost fully geared up, just needs to find a shield. Although, if we do remember last seed, Gambit never did find a shield, so maybe they're not so worried about that one. So I would put this definitely huge points in Gambit's favor. If they're able to find a way to gain some experience quickly now, we could see just a gigantic separation between the two.
Yeah, certainly. If level 10 brought something like, say, Heal More, you know where a reliable font of experience is at that point.
Yeah, and the blue dragon, oh man, Slamoo gets in there, immediately sees a red dragon again. What luck. Now, honestly, Hawksness seems like it's out in the middle of nowhere. I think they would probably try the Swamp Spike before they would deal with that. Of course, we know that Swamp also has a red dragon floating around, but neither of them have seen him.
Yeah, absolutely. And chat concurring, you really need Heal More before even thinking about grinding blues.
So Gambit going back through Swamp. We'll see if they might just take the old Death Warp on the Spike as a check, but also picking up level 10. It's already cleared Slamoo in experience.
1, 3, 6, 16, no spells. That has already put MP into the orange range.
And no, not checking, just moving along. They do have quite a bit of money, might be looking for some sort of purchase. Well, I guess the only thing they would be looking at right now is a shield. Anything else is pointless. But definitely getting the refill here in Breck. And Slamoo walking into coal. He might feel a little pressured at this point seeing this here, considering how close he was to it in the last 10 minutes or so.
And of course, we know he's about 20 minutes behind in finding that, 20 plus minutes behind. Probably feels that.
Now Gambit is making their way over to Mountain Cave. Probably not going to have a much better chance against the Red Dragon, still without any healing. If that thing shows up, just got to be hoping that you get away, and that's about the best you can hope for.
Finds a Stone Man at first instead. Wolf Lord.
Now Slamu on the left side here, finding Grave. Again, we know that all we're going to find down here is someone's KFC.
And Gambit finds a torch at the top of Mountain Cave here. Seems to have run into every enemy in the top set except for the Red Dragon.
And so now Mountain 2 is the same zone as Grave 1, so not a surprise that we see a Droll Magi up on both of their screens.
Chest number 2 is an herb here in bottom floor Mountain Cave. Heading over to chests 3 and 4 now.
And I tell you what, this zone looks really good. I can't think of an enemy that I wouldn't want to see right now. Wyverns and Droll Magis are great with Hurt More. They're all instant kills, and if they swing at you, they're not taking off a bunch of HP.
Dragon Scale, which Gambit is going to immediately equip. We're going to check the next chest here. It's a torch. One more to go.
As I say that, that looks exactly like what Slamu was doing, just walking back and forth. Now, Demon Knight, not so good. That's one bad enemy so far, and it's one you can get away from. Spectres, another decent enemy.
And the final chest has a key.
That is our first key access of the seed, and with the money that they have, if they end up dying in here, should be able to get away pretty easily.
Yeah, that is massive, especially if Rimmelder is tucked away somewhere.
It looks like both of them are enjoying this zone. Again, a whole bunch of mid-tier enemies, which even with Hurt More, you might think, give me the near Sharlock stuff. But this isn't much of a step down, and it is so much safer. And as long as they keep showing up, you think you're just gonna keep taking them. And now level 11 for Slamu. I believe that was 11-1-0-15. So a decent amount of stats. Excuse me, that was 6 is the strength on 11. Slamu chooses to leave Grave now. I think he's done enough.
Yep, so MP not really our problem here. HP continues to be a bit of a conundrum.
And here is the, I talk about the good part of this. I think if Gambit decides to try to take a Death Warp out of here, they're going to have to go back down to the first floor, because I don't know if anything in this area is going to kill them now. Yeah, they didn't see the Reds, but they did see a Stone Man, so I think I'd feel comfortable dying against one of them.
I'm wondering, is this a Death Warp, or is he just, or are they, Gambit, just, I don't know, walking for experience, although going up to the first floor now, so perhaps not.
Yeah, I would definitely be wanting to die out of here, just so I can get that warp back to Tantagel and you've already cleared all 5 chests, you're going to be in the throne room, so every chest you touch is going to be in that glitch state that lets you keep taking it over and over.
And here we go. Big Slamu, meanwhile, has found Cantlin, which is something Gambit has not located.
Yeah, Cantlin, yay. No keys, not so yay. So,
grabs a large shield from Cantlin.
Might be the only shield he ever uses. yet another red dragon for Slamu, but he's able to get away from that one. So that was the town that was out in the desert that Gambit died right before. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them head that direction shortly after they're done doing whatever sort of shopping they're going to be doing, or gold grinding, or whatever they might do out of here.
Yep, and fully loaded up on keys. We will check the treasury now. So we have gold. The gold grind is in, and Gambit does, in fact, know about the silver shield. Went back and checked, so I'm guessing we're going to see that here.
Well, they're going for it one way or another, if they've seen it or not. We'll just see how, if we see the save, if we see kind of a spastic wandering around. Meanwhile, Big Slamu meet Red Dragon once more.
Yeah, Gambit actually did end up going back to Garenham and checking the weapon shop, so Gambit has seen that there's a silver shield in play.
Yeah, we talk about like the progression and everything they've made. The one thing we've not seen anything of are our key items. Sword and armor, sure, but there has been no harp, no stones, no token. We haven't seen, we've only seen one of the search spots, so we haven't, we've seen two of them, so it looks like Grinham, what's locked behind there, and Deep Grave might be in play for those items. And Remolder, what else do we have? Tablet Cave, Stones Cave. We're running out of options.
Yeah, we really are. Looking pretty likely there's going to be overworld coordinates.
And I did miss what the fourth chest was. I saw the gold, but there was some. I don't think whatever he got in the other one was anything that was super useful.
Tablet Cave in the back of Tantagal.
Gambit about to clean out the king's dusty basement.
Apparently the last chest was harp, according to chat. So Gambit now has the harp.
Alright, so that leaves, again, Cantlin, Deep Grave, Grinham's 3 chests, and was that more gold in the basement?
Big Slamu finding Hawksness now.
And he has healed, but he does not have heal more. He's going to have to hope for the same sort of luck that Gambit had. Because
but if his luck remains the same as it's been this entire seed, well, lands the first one.
He could swing from here. 2 swings might be able to do it, but nope. He just gets the blue dragon has forgot its hurt more defense this seed.
Takes it down. And Erdrick's sword is his.
And that might be the last we see of that blue dragon if that other spike tile has anything remotely interesting on it. And then speaking of Grinham, we see Gambit dropping in here. Might just buy a little thing, little silver shield there for Gambit, and we'll probably see a check of the, what do you call it, the town hall here?
Yeah, the Garenham Civic Center. Check these 3 chests. We have the Stones of Sunlight, the Death Necklace, and a Cursed Belt, so quite a find.
Yeah, so that just leaves the token, and we might be looking at Cantlin on the overworld search spot. It's probably the most likely result there, but also Stone's Cave underneath.
And Freebie Cave has just some wings.
And nothing you're going to do with that, so since they have return, probably not worried about that sort of thing. Slamu, however, grinding in this Hawksness area, which we saw wasn't bad. So he is all but caught up as far as he's ahead in experience, and he's got the sword and armor. Just missing some of the exploration that Gambit has at this point.
Yep, has found Cantland, where Gambit has not, but since neither runner has found Rimmelder, only Gambit has gotten keys because Gambit was able to get down to the bottom of Mountain Cave.
And considering how rude the Red Dragons have been to Slamu, I doubt he's in any rush to go back to the mountain. So probably be looking for Remolder to kind of clear that up. But once he gets that, I don't think he's going to be held back for too long. Now Gambit clearing out and getting away from that Red Dragon, takes out a Metal Scorpion, a Wyvern. Very interesting combination of enemies in this zone.
Very much so. Taken down by the Demon Knight. I'm wondering if we're going to see Gambit further the exploration, or if we might see a grave deep dive.
I wonder, we still haven't seen what's on the spike in Swamp. It's not too difficult to get to, although just getting down here involves going through a Red Dragon zone, so it's not easy by any means, but that could be an interesting fight. If that's an Axe Knight or a Green Dragon, that's easy XP.
Yeah, it certainly is. So the chests we have remaining, the chest in Rimmelder is remaining, since we have not found Rimmelder. There's the 2 chests at the bottom of Grave, and then potentially there's an overworld search spot, but we have not found 3 cursed belts yet, which of course one of those could be in one of those remaining 3 chests. But we have only 1 item left to find, and that's the token.
Meanwhile, Slamu taking the death. I think that one was on purpose at the end there from the Blue Dragon. And we'll see what he does, if he thinks about Mountain or if he's going to try to find Remolder. It does have to exist somewhere, and it's not locked in any fashion since we already got through Swamp, and I think all we saw in Swamp was Hawksness. Swamp Island.
Does it have to exist somewhere? You know, sometimes I wonder.
I believe it is a union mandate that we have to have Hawksness in every seed. I mean Remolder. Both, probably.
I think we made... Is he headed toward Grave? Is that Grave or is that Swamp? He's headed toward... they're headed toward Gambit.
I believe that was Grave, so we might be seeing a deep dive. Slamu looks like they're going back to Mountain, but they might just decide to search past here instead of... because they just died the last couple times. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yeah, I don't hate this play by Gambit, just because Gambit doesn't know where Cantland is, and if the token is here, you don't have to find Cantland.
We also know Grave Zone 1 is actually very nice to fight in. It might be a little too nice for his level, but I would say at least 12, considering how close he is. Maybe even 13 can mess around. It looks like he might. They look like they might be lost. Alright, meanwhile, Slamu picking up level 13, 24 hit points, the highlight of that. We finally have some big boy hit points and can actually not get DL2'd by something. Not that you could do that anymore because you have armor, but you know, once you clear like the mid-70s, then it starts to feel good exploring.
Yeah, absolutely. So those hit points, huge there.
And it looks like Slamu's hit a dead end, and we'll see if he... I think he'll probably pop in the Mountain Cave, right? It's better than just not doing it, because the worst that happens is you die and you do exactly what you were going to do anyway, which was warp back. It does mean everything we're looking for has to be past Cantling, because I don't think there's any other exploration routes that haven't been traveled yet.
So Gambit is coming up on chest number 4 in Grave, and of course is really hoping the token is in chest 4 or 5, because at that point, no longer have to find Rimmelder, no longer have to find Cantlin, it's just the search for Sharlock.
Meanwhile, Slamu finding out that there are more than red dragons in Mountain 1.
We have Fairy Water in chest 4, so headed further down.
The highlight that he will find in Mountain, assuming he is able to get to it, is that the 5th chest has a key. That is the only key that we have seen so far in this seed. We haven't seen Remolder, and we haven't seen any other loose ones. True, Mountain 2 is the same as Grave 1. That is a wonderful zone. I don't know, if he swung through everything, I'm not sure he could be killed at this point, considering he's got the armor and all that defense.
Alright, Gambit is approaching chest number 5 here. Really hoping for that token.
To respond to Ahmed Tenor in chat, the logic has been finessed to where that will no longer happen.
It is just a key, so the funny thing about this is that there's only 2 things left to check. The chest in Rimmelder or possible coordinates. And so it could be one of those interesting situations where the last cursed belt is in Rimmelder to let you know that you have to go to Cantlin.
Betastrep in chat sharing that he truly hates diving grave outside. I would like to say that, but just cut out the last words to where it says, I truly hate diving grave. And this is my brief plug for using Stair Shuffle in your seeds, where Deep Grave could be anything, anywhere, through any sort of stairway. Really confuses everything up, and it's no longer, well, this is terrible if I have to do this. You don't know until you've cleared everything. Oh, I love birch beer. What are you on about, Tadaro? And there we go. Slamu meets Red Dragon, who he might actually punch through if the rolls work out right, which they did. Oh wait, nope, he's still got one more attack. Will he punch? Yeah, he's gonna kill this thing. He don't care. We'll fight another one. The Red Dragon's being completely uncooperative in every possible way. Alright, now we'll see him go get his infinite keys from the eastern side of the castle here in just a moment. Gonna fully stock up and not have to have any concerns about running out of keys the rest of the seed. Meanwhile, Gambit is very close to finding Cantlin, and we might see our first coordinates check.
I'm not sure which outcome I prefer, that you have to find Rimmelder and there's finally something useful in that Rimmelder chest, or that we have really wonky coordinates.
The Golem, Gambit tried to get through the Golem, but just not able to. They took him out, unfortunately.
Yeah, nothing doing. which is an unfortunate time loss, especially since Caitlin was right around the corner.
So while Slamu is in the treasury here getting gold, did you know that which chest you pick first when you go into the treasury in Tantagel says a lot about your personality?
Does it now?
Yes. In fact, if you go for the center chest first, you are a crazy maniac.
Well, I am glad to know I have passed the psychopath test.
Yes, that was horoscopes with Aaron to you too.
All right, we are going to get a swamp tile check, it looks like. Brian Williams can breathe a sigh of relief.
Let's go, Blue Dragon! Oh, wait. Dang it. Wolf Lord, you're in my way.
And it is a Stone Man.
That is gross. However, you do have sleep, so you probably could kill one more often than not, but...
Yeah, literally the worst thing it could be.
Yeah, I think right now I would take the Stoneman over the Blue Dragon, but I would probably just do neither. Like, I want to find everything I need and not worry about this. I might have picked up the Princess, though, since you know Cantlin. Well, Gambit doesn't know that Cantlin is the next town. It could be Remolder.
I mean, I would do the Stone Man grind, but I would die mad about it.
Yeah, Stonemen actually have the same Hurtmore resist that Blue Dragons do, but they have somewhere around 50% more hit points. So you're not guaranteed to kill one with 2 Hurtmores. Speaking of Gambit swinging through a Blue Dragon, but we're going to see if the Hurtmore are we. Nope, we did not go 5 for 5 in Hurtmores on Blue Dragon.
But survives that swing, but run blocked. I may have thrown a second Hurtmore at that point, but can't blame the run.
Yeah, Slamu finally finding the fun stuff in Granham. Well, almost. Here we go. Here's the stones. Now he's got... he's completely caught up to Gambit in exploration at this point.
Yeah, Gambit's early exploration luck has been stalled by just some unfortunate deaths here in the last few minutes, and that's really allowed Big Slamu to catch up quite a bit.
Yeah, the only difference, I suppose, is that Slamu hasn't done the deep grave dive, but he might not. I don't know if he will or not, but he's already seen Cantlin. I have a feeling that's where he's going next, considering he's only missing 1 key item, and there's an 80% chance blindly. But he's not! He's not going there. Or maybe he is.
Possibly temporarily forgot which direction to go in.
Probably going to stop off of that Heart Cave, but I think that's the first one down here. Nope. Maybe? Yes.
Took the roundabout way, but we got there.
I hope he enjoys this in a rewatch, me telling everyone where he's going to go and then immediately changing direction as I do. So the lead that Gambit had earlier seems to have been lost through a few bad deaths and just some of the stuff that they checked didn't pan out, like that swamp grind being, you know, so gross.
And Big Slamu, yeah, making a beeline back for Cantlin. So we're going to see if the token is on coordinates or if the token is in the as-yet undiscovered Remolder. Gambit, meanwhile, searching another Sparkover bridge, as one should.
We still do have quite a bit of map that hasn't been found. We do not currently know where Charlock is.
We do have the 0 south and 2 west. Well, Rimelder likely to remain undiscovered.
No princess required. Good job, Slamook. Nice count. And now, what is Slamook going to do now? Is he going to continue to explore and try to find Sherlock before it sets up for a grind? Are we going to see a spike check? Considering everything we've seen, what Gambit is doing right now feels kind of good. I would take a golem with the flute over either of those enemies right now.
Yeah, I absolutely would as well.
If we had Heal More, you know, trademark Heal More, possibly do a first floor grind with Repel on, but we also don't have Repel, so. Gambit about to get the very fun news about the location. Hopefully, doesn't feel so bad rescuing that princess, or not rescuing the princess now. In fact, if you have the princess, you probably just find the thing and just keep dragging her around. And we did see level 14 on Slamu's side, but I don't think we really saw much in the way of gains at all. It looked, well, no, there was some decent stuff there. Another 11 agility. That's fun. That's a lot of defense, repelling, you know, a ton of stuff if we ever get repel. Slamming going to the jerk location? I think we've seen them already, right? The blue dragon just seemed to be boring. Yeah, I think it was fight. If you want, Venix, we could bring that up and see.
Yeah, let's check out that blue dragon. Oh, Gambit taking another unfortunate death during exploration.
25% heal more, you know, if I knew that, I probably would not fight that, even though that's not that common. I would still pick the Stone Man. Alright, and if it has been a little while, as I think we're approaching the... I think we're pretty close to an hour now, aren't we? Yes, 56 minutes. We might as well just kind of go over everything that we've done so far. And I'm Aaron to you too. I'm here with Bob Pineapple on comms. We have Venicus, our tracker. Say hi to everybody, Venicus. And the esteemed Kamian Renakai, our restreamer today, bringing you this race, this very late race between Big Slamu and Gambit in the Magidrakee group.
Yep, and Big Slamu pulling a double header here. Ran a race earlier today.
The Wombo Magidrakee group. That feels very appropriate. So it's a little bit of a rundown of what we've seen and what we've done so far. The flute was in the throne room, which everyone took. Nobody did reset the game to not pick it up, even though there was a suggestion to do it. The armor was in Cole. The sword was in Hawksness. The harp in the treasury. The stones and the death necklace in Grinham. And the token on that overworld search spot that we very much enjoyed seeing. So at this point, we are in grind and go mode, with the exception of figuring out where I believe both Sharlock and the Dirt Cave are.
We are also still on the search for Healmore. That has not come up yet, and we've seen level 14, so we're going to get it in one of the next 2 levels, but the question is, which one?
Correct, as all spells are guaranteed by level 16 or your money back. Yes, Jerk is doing jerk things and hiding way out of sight of everyone. Have we seen Sherlock yet? I haven't necessarily been staring at the screen, so if we have seen that big blocky box.
I have not seen it. Chat may be able to chime in on that. Here it is. Big Slamoo coming down to it now.
Alright. So one thing, not the thing you necessarily wanted to find first, but it's probably likely that the Jerk is hiding somewhere right nearby. That'd be my guess.
It certainly looks like Sherlock, but can we be sure?
Well, until they get that rainbow drop, they're Sherlocked out.
Indeed. Chat pointing out, of course, and rightly so, long way from any towns, so, gonna be a bit of a hike.
Yeah, a long walk, and also not finding the Jerk Cave. Where is it? Does anyone know? Does it exist? Is it somewhere very unusual and unfortunate? I think that we know the answer to that last one.
The Jerk may have packed up and left town. Got tired of waiting.
Slamoo doing a cool 100 damage to that Demon Knight. That's gotta feel good. And even though Slamoo has taken the advantage in both experience and exploration, I think we did see Gambit is slowly catching up. And hey, it's Remolder! We found it! It exists!
How about that? And yeah, Gambit has reached level 14, so about 600 XP behind.
Slamoo checking this, probably checking it, hoping it's a fighter's ring, but it's the last of our information, which does us no good right now. Cursed belts can be useful because they only exist in ratio to the amount of overworld search spots that exist. So if you have 3 belts, you know all 3 are active. However, once you've already cleared all 3 things, finding any belts doesn't give you any additional information. And did not find the Jerk Cave past Remolder, so where is it? Yeah, Rim winds up not being too terribly far. It's still a bit of a distance, but not, you know, before this I think it was Cantlin, and that was atrocious.
Oh, Big Slamoo manages to get away from that red dragon at the last possible chance.
Imagine having to cast heal 4 times and still not getting all of your max hit points back.
So XP is almost back to even here. It really is looking like it's going to be a matter of who can locate the Jerk first. Whoever can do that is going to have a bit of an advantage here.
And that is rough. 110 AP and you can't kill a red dragon in 4 swings. That hurts. And to respond to Trails in chat, the only items that are equipment items that you find in chests are the final sword and armor. And I think the way the game works is if it automatically equips it once you find it. So if you opened a chest that had like a bamboo pole in it and you had a starting sword in Tantagel, that would be really, really bad. There could possibly be a way to reconfigure that, but compared to some other randomizers, this one really hasn't been. We haven't really completely just broke open the game and, you know, done whatever we feel like with it. There's a lot you can do here, but it's not quite on the scale as some others. And pointed out by Brian Williams, we are actually, yeah, pretty much the same place. Slamu has more information, but finding Sharlock, while important, isn't that useful. And just because you can kind of guess where it is at the end. But he does not take out another red dragon. These things are just... They have been griefing Slamu this entire seed.
Yeah, and they seem to be all over the map, unfortunately.
And are just enough places to cause him problems. Now we see Gambit running into one, and they are not messing around with that sucker, just trying to run away. And 71 agility is something around 40% odds, I think. But, you know, don't tell Gambit that.
And Gambit goes down to a red dragon as well.
If Sharlock had been really close to a town, I could see a Sharlock first floor dive, just because you're probably getting some hurt more stuff in there. But considering where it is, and the fact that if you die there, it's going to take you like 5 minutes to walk back, that's probably not going to be the option we're going to see from these guys. But considering how hard it's been to find anything, they might get the levels they need without ever grinding, because they just keep fighting, you know, stuff in all these deserts everywhere.
Yep, and Big Slamu's very close to level 15 here, with Gambit not far behind.
And, oh, Star Wyvern, this is still going to leave us a little bit short. We're not going to quite see the 7,500 yet. That's level 15. If we have to go to 16, which is likely, just based off of the amount of things we need, that would be 9750. Hey, it's the Red Dragon guarding Cantlin, but this time Gambit gets away. Slamu walking right past it, finds a nice Druin. That is exactly enough for level 15. Perfect.
Yeah, and here we go. We've got 6, 1, 4, 3, Hurt, Outside, and Repel. Everything except Heal More, so 16 it is.
Alrighty then. You know, not even thinking about Heal More right now. If you're looking at the stats, the HP is just enough that you could go. The MP isn't terrible if the AP is high, but the AP is not. So we're going to need some more strength before we do anything with this.
Well, we are running out of map, and it's starting to be a little confounding.
At this point, you're almost wondering if there's like some big land area and it might be in the center of it. Is again, something that sometimes players fall into the trap of, and myself very much talking about myself here, is hugging the outsides a little bit too much because it's the easiest way to catch your bearings. Sometimes those caves like to be right smack dab in the center, where if you hug the outsides, you'll never see it. Oh, that had to be a missed menu. I was like, wait, did the werewolf cast heal? A little confused there.
Yeah.
Gambit finding another golem. I haven't seen Slamu fight any of these, but Gambit has been, and this one will almost. They'll just be very close to the level after this one. You know, Insult, I really wanted to reply to that, but I don't think I'm allowed to while I'm on comms.
And finally, Big Slamu finds the jerk on what must be the northernmost tip out on a peninsula.
Oh, it's good for Slamu. He's got what he needs now, except he just needs some levels. If Gambit winds up going that direction and not the way that Slamu went initially, then they might not be that far behind. And speaking of that, Gambit directly there, picking up the drop. And now we are in a downhill race to finish this one. We have a very slim experience difference, and it's all about what are our grinds going to look like. I don't think Slamu has seen what's in the spike here, so we'll see if he sticks with it or if he bolts. With if you have heal more, I think the blue dragon is 100% better, but this guy is so close. And hey, it's a red dragon. That red dragon might be good enough to fight now. This is still kind of scary.
Yeah, you're definitely not guaranteed here.
All of that defense is really helping, because normally you think about 40 damage when it comes to red dragons and golems, because that's how much they do at 80 defense. The 91, curves that down to about I think a 37 or maybe a 38 max. But the min also rolls down too, so just the average damage they do is just reduced.
Alright, so Big Slamu sees the Stone Man. We'll see if he decides to stick around.
Gambit, however, going directly to finds Sherlock, decides to explore a little bit. I wonder if they're going to jump in or maybe do some grinding in there. They've already got the bad news of everything being terrible. And speaking of that, hello heal on the Stone Man.
And Big Slamu decides the Stone Man grind is it. Gambit looks like they're gonna try and gain it right here. First into Sherlock.
Slamu was looking for the magic, did not, and still alive. Stone Man can be a little bit deceiving. They are a huge HP gap, but they are not. They're strong, but they're stronger enemies, and their defense is so bad that you just surprise yourself at how much damage you do when you fight them. Yeah, the weight of these grinds depends on how long they have to go and what happens after they run out of resources. If Slamu sticks around with this, he'll have to warp out to Breck, which isn't terrible, but he is not guaranteed to kill a Stone Man by just swinging, as we just saw. So perhaps that is what we're seeing, Gambit doing a check of the basement. I can't imagine that this is a serious dive just because the attack power is so incredibly low and you're already lost a few resources. But it's looks like a very good grind zone right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see Gambit take the experience lead in just a minute or two.
Yeah, getting a lot of wizards, which, frankly, good fight right now. Damage broken, can just swing right through them for 120 XP. You're not that far off of, say, the Stone Man, and you're taking care of it in 2 swings.
Yeah, wizards occupy a weird space in the rando because normally they have the stats and the juice of what they would in vanilla, where they cast heal more and hurt more, I believe. So they're just utterly obnoxious to fight. But here, they're not guaranteed those spells, and you can compare them somewhat favorably to Demon Knights, where they're very similar in stats, but they just have a little bit more hit points and also give more experience and such.
Ah, some bad sleep luck for the golem there.
And Slamu looks like he's grinding out here in the Star Wyverns in the desert here. This has to not feel like a good grind, but I would still take it over the Stone Man at this point. It's less experience, and you might have to swing hurt more, but ugh. And then Magidrakee is gross. Yeah, the problem he has here is that if he throws out the repel, he's repelling the Star Wyverns, so that is just a completely terrible thing to try to deal with.
The golem does not seem to be working. It might be time to cut bait on this one. It just keeps waking up after each attack. There we go. He finally gets some decent sleep luck, but it immediately wakes back up again.
Really wanted to hurt more of that golem, which I have done before once. And it failed, or no, it hit, and then I got killed anyway because they have a trillion hit points. I think the thing that might hold Slamu back from going that way is just how far it is. But, you know, I said that I expected Gambit to clear the experience, but that is not happening. That golem fight just took so incredibly long that Slamu, I think, was able to take out like 5 enemies in that time.
Yeah, the trade-off time for XP definitely did not end up working out in Gambit's favor there.
At this point, there's definitely no effort to try to preserve MP. You just launch, get as many levels as you can, you know, as much experience, see if you can get that spike, but if not, just get that experience, because this is still probably the best experience you've seen the entire game. Yeah, pointing out what chat said, or amplifying that. AK-47 is the scariest thing you've seen, and in one level, you're likely to have just basically the same agility as them, so, you know, that doesn't always mean anything. You don't want to rely on that, but you'd have to feel decent to learn from them.
Big Slamu closing in on 16. We're going to see what kind of level it looks like, see if it is ghost stats. We know we're going to get heal more.
We need a lot of strength or a lot of hit points to get the Death Necklace on. That's our gap right now. I think 116 is... I don't even have that on my chart. I didn't even bother. It takes too many hits. Well, 2 experience short. Does not get the red slime. Instead, we'll take out 1 more Star Wyvern.
Gambit locked in combat with a golem again and still getting lousy sleep luck. I'm just not sure they're worth it here.
So level 16, 2-1-24, and I believe that was 2 for the MP. That is not enough, but it's going to make you think a little bit.
Yeah, not quite. Not enough HP to be able to use the Death Necklace safely. And the attack power, of course, is a total no-go.
Yeah, I think at 118, that's 25 hits, or 25 rounds on average with 12 heal mores. That is 100% not going to work. Now, Gambit in here may be looking for the fighter's ring. That, you know, seeing where Slamu is, that could actually be useful, especially if level 17 is not a heavy amount of strength, but some other stats come along. But
and
they
there's
do get
the fighter's ring. Yep.
And at this point, I don't know if Gambit... Yeah, I think they're just going to try to gain a level and probably take the warp out. They do not know that Remolder is somewhat nearby, so Death Warp makes the most sense. Yeah, if you knew that Remolder and where Remolder was, I think a Sharlock dive makes more sense. I don't know that Slamu's got to feel really good about what he's doing, but in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we might see him wander towards Sharlock as soon as he runs out of resources here. So Gambit getting the news that heal more, nice, but the rest of the level, the hit points are good. The hit points make the walk a whole lot safer. Once you get into that 122 range, that sort of thing, you're looking at possibly 5 attacks or 5 run fails before you can get taken out by a red. Swinging at this point, I wonder, I think they're just taking the Death Warp now. So we will see what Gambit decides to do after this. If they come right back, or if they try on one of the existing grinds. The Swamp Spike was a Stone Man. We had a Blue Dragon and Hawksness. Those are generally considered to be the 2 weakest Spike enemies. Or I say weakest, I mean the 2 lamest. People generally don't go out of their way for it. Now, Slamu's actually moved into this zone with a Red Dragon and a Golem. I think those are his targets now, and that could be good, especially if you're not using the Flute and just relying on Heal more. Even though it's not as fast as the Red Dragon, it is reasonably efficient, especially compared to what he has been doing. I'll say I like this grind decision from Slamu. I think this is better than where he was. Now that he has Heal more, the Red Dragons aren't nearly as scary as they were before.
Yeah, between the Red Dragons and the Golem, both, of course, which give 350 a pop, they're both in this zone. We're going to see where Gambit, I guess, heads to do their grind.
We'll see. If they start running from a lot of things, then probably going to Sharlock, but I think they've already cast Repel once. Oh, now they're using Fairy Water. Yeah, I think this is a dive and grind situation.
Just get it on the way down. That's not necessarily a bad call. You saw several things in there you can just swing through, the wizards especially. There was nothing super scary.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't see the Fairy Water come out in any other situation. Of course, the problem now is that they're repelling the exact things that they're going to want to fight down here. Yeah, with 92 defense, they're repelling wizards, werewolves, star wyverns, and green dragons. So that's 40% of the enemies, and at least one of them, the wizard, was something that they were more than happy to fight every chance they got. But maybe they're trying to go with this, or maybe they're trying the spike tile down there.
Yeah, the Fairy Water tells me that, of course, that's going to take wizards off the table, so is this a check the spike tile and hope it's the grind, or is Gambit trying to go with these stats?
This is not comfortable at all. This is the gap in these stats make this seem almost impossible. Like this would be a 1 hurt more at least sort of scenario, I think.
I'm wondering if there's a miscalculation on the death necklace. Meanwhile, Big Slamoo has gotten to 17 and has decided that 17 is also not the go level. Well, yeah, can't blame him for that decision.
Yeah, just a couple of hit points short. Maybe could do it. This would be a really high, like, there are players who would try this. I'll put it that way. It would be really scary. I think 126 puts you at, is it 94 or 95? We've seen those sorts of dives, but the likelihood that he would have to double heal more probably makes it impossible. However, Gambit's still going, not fighting anything, just going straight down.
If the play from Gambit here is to hope that the spike tile is the grind, unfortunately, that's not going to work out because we know 17 is probably not go time. But it's got to be either that or Gambit's just going for it. I can't see any other possibility here.
Yeah, it is very curious. Maybe, I mean, we'll see if they hit the spike, and the spike is something that they can swing through easily. Running from the wizards, though, if you were going to fight anything, you were going to fight them. This looks like
yeah, this is serious. A go. Yeah, if Gambit's not even swinging at the wizards when they come up, this is an attempt at the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, if you were looking for a favorable grind tile here, it would have to be the Green Dragon because it's the weakest defense enemy, or excuse me, the weakest attack enemy you can find on there, and he would be defense, or they would be defense breaking them, so it wouldn't do anything to him. But it would still end up enough that you have to heal at some point.
Oh, we find out that Stonemen have DL2 breath. I do not think we knew that previously.
I think someone in chat mentioned it, but I hadn't noticed. So there we go. Maybe they were looking for the golems the entire time because they're throwing out the flute right now for them.
But it's just for a safety run, it looks like. Yep. I do the same thing.
So I guess we'll just have to see what happens on the spike tile here, which is an Axe Knight. Which, you know, if you're going to grind on something, the Axe Knight's pretty much the best thing you can do. Assuming that, like, red dragons aren't blind or something. But no, going in for the win. But holy cow, level 18 has all of the stats. It's like now 150 some HP, like 130 some MP, just completely overloaded. 18 is probably an easy win scenario.
Putting on the death necklace before talking to DL1. Here goes Gambit.
So those hit points, 92. This is going to be really scary. 92 basically means that you need to swing on like every single possible fire. Like you can't even consider the fire breath when you're casting heal more or not.
Well, and already having to burn a heal more because the Dragon Lord was just throwing out hurt mores like crazy. You are damage breaking, DL1. Alright, well, here we go. No back attack. 7, not an auspicious start, but gets a double. Be 19.
Doubles are not going to be common. I'm going to need every single one of those and more.
This is risky.
Yeah, have to swing on 48. So, probably have to swing on 46 too to have any sort of shot.
We're at 28. And it's 43.
See, there you go. 46 and 48 is like 25% of their attacks. So already losing a double there, or giving that double back, probably going to be in a situation where we're going to see hurt more here at the end. but they've made it this far, which is pretty impressive in and of itself. 92 defense, those physicals can do up to 47.
Yeah, and unfortunately the rolls are just not good.
Well, with 130 AP, that's 7 to 15. So 14 nice, but there's not a whole lot you can do with them.
Did get another double in there. At least I thought he did. I may be wrong about that. Ratliff asking what the count is. Unfortunately, I lost count in there. I had a glitch in the system, so I missed a swing. Here's the YOLO hurt more. And no. That may have been a miss menu.
They went down from heal more to hurt more. The problem was probably could have waited around for it, I think. Or maybe they were thinking that they wanted to heal when they died because that was a kind of a logical result there. But all right, well, all of that happened. You're down to the 92 hit points. You have the Death Necklace equipped. You could get it unequipped in Breckenary if you really wanted to, but more than likely they're going to try to find some sort of grind and just probably deal with it now. It looks like Gambit's going to pick up some more fairy water. Maybe they were thinking about using fairy water in the fight, but they didn't. They had some. So that was an option. Maybe using that on the way there. Maybe we'll see them go right back. Meanwhile, Slamu has hit the basement with no problems whatsoever. We see him pass the stray away through the Nirvana room, out the keyhole. I came up with all these names last year. I gotta keep using them. Swinging through the S's, and now getting ready to cross the finish line, we see the Axe Knight, the wonderful, beautiful Axe Knight, who will die, and I think that was 2 hits.
And Big Slamu approaching what is going to be an extremely free fight.
Turn 7. Yeah, it's basically a NASCAR race because you only turn one direction, right?
We're getting the Death Necklace, so we're going to be swinging 10 to 20. With 128 MP going into DL2 and 93 defense.
Yeah, 140 AP makes this an average of 10 to 11 rounds. With 128 AP, that's 16 heal mores. That is a 7 heal more gap. We could see this finishing up with the MP still in the 60s.
Yeah, he could finish this with enough MP to kill the Dragon Lord twice.
Which, who knows, maybe he'll run away and do it again. The real swag, when you get the Dragon Lord to like 149 damage and you just run and then you do the fight again.
Now that I would love to see.
It does appear that Gambit is making their way back. However, it looks like it's going to be too little too late because Slamu is having no issues whatsoever with this Dragon Lord.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Gambit is also, in reality, 2 levels away from really being able to crack this.
Now, honestly, it probably could do it at 17. I don't know that you want to, but at least if they got the sort of luck they had on the rolls, it could be possible.
And there it is. Get your GGs out in chat for Big Slamoo taking down DL2 and will win this race.
Wonderful job. Still had 8 heal wars left. Basically just completely embarrassing the Dragon Lord in front of all of his homies.
Yeah, could have done it twice.
Finishing up with a final racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 33 minutes, and 43 seconds.
Very well run race. Made up some ground early when Gambit was able to get down, get the armor super early, and just had an exploration lead for a while there. And Big Slamoo able to rally and push through.
Yeah, and this race really swung back and forth quite a while. It was just right there at the end. The grind choices really just kind of changed everything. Gambit went heavy into Sharlock. Slamoo sat out in the desert, initially northwest of, I forget what town that was, Grinham, and then over by Cantlin, and was just able to gain so much experience from those enemies. Just completely changed the nature at the end there, where Gambit was pushing hard on 16. Slamoo was getting what he needed to win.
So while we're waiting for Big Slamoo to join us here in chat, Gambit is pressing on.
Took out the Red Dragon. Now it looks like Gambit is inhabiting that same zone that Slamoo had for a while there. Golems and Red Dragons. This is a situation where having the Death Necklace on probably makes this quite a bit quicker, because just the difference between 120 and 130 AP for them is enough to probably shorten each fight by a round.
And now joining us here in chat, we have the winner of the race, Big Slamoo. Big Slamoo, GG.
Thanks. That's another one of these seeds where it's like grind, and then all of a sudden here's a million free points at the end. Let's make the last 6 minutes boring. But I'll take it.
Yeah, it absolutely was. The beginning of this seed was looking like it was going to be a huge slog, and then luckily the breakout level wasn't too far away.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, obviously no heal spell till, what, 11 or 12, so it makes it tough, but I feel like I also played that kind of poorly. I left a lot on the table there. Bad deaths, things like that, but at the end of the day, we pulled it out, so.
Yeah, on that note, I'm looking at your stream right now, trying to see what the Red Dragon count was, because it felt like everywhere you went in the beginning was just like anytime you were trying to make some reasonable gain, you would get stomped out by a Red Dragon.
Yeah, 18 Red Dragons. I did win in the end. I went 8-7 in the end.
There you go. That's all that counts, and GG to you, sir. I think we saw quite a difference between you and Gambit. Well, we don't want to say things like that runner had to feel behind or something like that, but at what point did you feel like things were evening out at least?
I think it would be closer to, finding the armor was nice. Not being able to clear Mountain Cave was brutal. I hated that. And then to not find any reds like the third or fourth dive. I'm like, this is just silly.
True, and that's something that, not to spoil a rewatch, but I believe Gambit full cleared Mountain Cave on the first time and never saw a red at all.
Yeah, I'm glad I got the key out of the back of it, right? Because that unlocked the rest of the seed, but, there's just nothing to do there, and then after, even at the end, there's no good grind until heal more.
Which, of course, came at 16, so...
Yeah, I hated the Star Wyvern werewolf grind outside of Garenham, but I think that was the best thing I could do at that point.
Yeah, there was a lot of chat in chat, I guess, about what to do at that point. I think there was a lot of favor towards the Hawksness zone, because I think they were like Axe Knights or something, where you had been previously, but also Hawksness was kind of out in the middle of nowhere, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Hawksness was through the swamp cave by itself. It had Axe Knights, it had werewolves, star wyverns, it had 2 bad enemies, like just junk enemies. The blue wasn't the right answer, because blue dragon's never the right answer. The stone man wasn't the right answer because of the heal and the deal 2 breaths, so I don't know, I felt like I was going to spend 3 minutes getting over there, and by the time I got there I'm missing out on 1200 XP that I'll never make up.
Yeah, it was quite a ways, and it wasn't like yeah, because you came through north, so you couldn't even outside through the cave. Had to deal with all of that to walk all the way over there and have no town nearby to heal to. Like if you were going to do it one time, but you had no idea when the stats were going to show up.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, right, I mean, I knew Healmore was coming by 16, but I was at 14, and I had to get 2 levels out of it, so... But I like the red things grind north of Cantland for 17 and 18. Felt good doing that.
Yeah, the moment when you were fighting, we were doing the werewolf grind. We saw Gambit was probably about 300 experience behind you inside of Sharlock, and I think I said like, oh, I expect Gambit to shoot ahead now fighting the stuff in here, and it didn't work out that way. I think they struggled with some golems while you were fighting all that stuff, and then yeah, once you touched the Cantland zone, it was over as far as the experience race went.
Yeah, I think that Cantland zone was almost as fast as a spike tile. I mean, two of them on that spot, and then 1 out of 8 encounter. I mean, it's just money, right? I mean, it was 350 every 30 seconds with a heal more in the middle. I feel like I did 16 to 18 faster than I did 14 to 16.
And I definitely came quickly. Did you make the connection? I'm just throwing this out there because chat pointed it out, and I thought it was funny that being part of the Magidrakee group and having to deal with the Wombo Combo Magidrakees at the beginning of the seed, did that ever pop into your head? The little connection there.
It didn't. I felt like I was doing something dumb at the beginning though, because I just couldn't get out of there. What was it, like 9 minutes to 17 XP? I felt like the torch could have been used slightly better, but I mean, then I saw the Magidrakee and what he did, and I'm like, okay, well, that's great, because I couldn't find a ghost. Nothing else you can really use a torch on, so...
Yeah, I think Gambit used the torch on the Magidrakee and then just got slept immediately afterward. Also, Min rolled on it, so I don't know. If there was a magician a little bit closer, maybe a ghost, but it's not a whole lot you can do with it, I guess.
But magicians had baby breath too, right?
I do not recall. Maybe if Venicus could throw that up on screen for us, just to have to double check to know for sure. But I'm not sure you were hunting. Oh, good. They had the Wombo combo, full 50.
Oh, that's right. There we go.
Yeah, that's full out.
That's why I didn't torch them.
Yes, yeah, that would have probably not turned out well unless you just rolled really high. And, you know, they rolled low, you rolled high, and you got the perfect 9s.
Yeah, so this is 2 seeds for me in the same day where, I mean, the home zone is brutal. And the escape path here was obviously much better than the escape path this morning, or this afternoon, but, I mean, 8 to 9 minutes to 17 XP via 7 slimes and a Drakey is not what I'm looking for in my seeds.
On an exploration note, just curious, exactly how obnoxious was finding Jerk Cave?
That was insane. I if you asked me to like point it out on the map, I don't think I'd get it again. I mapped pretty well, and this, I think it was north of the path to Sharlock, but it wasn't as far north. I think it was like a little alcove that was almost as far north as the path to Rimmildar. Because I thought it was going to be south of Rimmildar where I got Red Dragoned, but I got lucky finding it on the way.
Yeah, it was absolutely crazy because you and Gambit were searching for it at exactly the same time, and minute upon minute was passing, and it just didn't seem to be anywhere.
No, and I mean, I'd done everything north, everything east, everything on the second continent, and the entire southeast. Finished the southwest. I mean, all that was left was that mess of northwest that I just couldn't. I still don't have it all figured out in my head of how that looks. By the way, any thoughts? Is 17 even winnable? It didn't feel like I could do it on 17.
Gambit attempted at 16 and then just tried the YOLO hurt more at the end. And looks like Gambit's going to be trying here on 17, so I guess we're going to find out shortly.
I think it's all going to come down to whether or not they get caught on a 48.
Yeah,
Because what is it? 135 is probably 12 rounds. You have 12 heal mores, but you're not going to get a double, and you're probably going to lose at least one. So.
Oh, he got the fighters ring somewhere.
Oh yeah, it was in Sharlock basement.
Sharlock basement.
When he was going through, he grabbed it, which seemed like it could be really important.
Yeah, completely useless for me by the time I'm down there at 18 with 140 AP and 134 MP.
Yeah, Gambit did attempt a dive to win at level 16, but I don't know how much. I think they did close to 100 damage before they threw out Hurtmore and just ate it right after that. So I think that one was pretty much doomed without some crazy good luck, and the rolls weren't even close to that.
Gets a stop spell on TL1, so that's looking good. Stop spell again.
Was that 92 health he dove on then?
After he equipped the Death Necklace, yeah. So.
Yes.
Wow, that's a bold strategy.
Well, they do get the opening 17, which I think was max. And yeah, have to swing on 48, 47. There's no way you can't do that. And he can get hit or they can get hit for 47 still with the defense power. So not even that is, 7 or would it be like 7 out of 8 chances safe.
The rolls are looking good so far.
Yeah, 135 is 8 to 17 for damage, and we've seen, I think, 217 so far.
Yeah,
Definitely swinging better than I was. I think I did 12 attacks for 158.
Yeah, we were joking with the amount of resources you have that once you got him down to like 140, you could just run away and then fight him again and still possibly win. This fight is going well so far. Again, all it takes is a double 48 breath or something like that, which I'm not jinxing anything, that doesn't exist. But it's looking good for Gambit.
Yep, they might just pull this out here.
It's good on him. I don't think I dab on those stats on 17 hardly ever, but if he pulls this off, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, it seems possible, but considering how fast that
There it is.
I mean, they get it. Level 17 is enough. And be going to return, and everyone get your GGs ready as Gambit's going to be bringing it home here in just a moment.
We had low roll on Dragon Lord 2 HP stats and 2 heal mores remaining for Gambit there at the end.
And there it is. Final racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 47 minutes, and 29 seconds. GG to Gambit. This could have been a very interesting scenario, Slamu, if Gambit had got that 17 before that final dive and went like this.
Oh yeah, I mean, honestly, I wasn't going on 17. I was only like 3 minutes, probably 4 minutes from 17 to 18, but still, yeah, I mean, we would have been significantly closer had he gotten 17 before that dive.
And joining us now here in the booth is Gambit017. Gambit, GG, great race.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a close one, and I can't believe I almost pulled that out. But I knew going into that first dive, I was a little bit short on resources, and it ended up biting me at the end.
Yeah, it was a bold play. We're definitely pulling for you, and then going back at 17, managing to pull it off. Very interesting seed. What are your thoughts about it?
That was a long freaking walk to get to Charlock. That was I've never seen something so long of a walk away. I will say the seed overall, I got some insanely early encounter luck, being able to get all the way south and finding coal, and in turn getting that armor at I think I was still level 2. And I think I made up for it there at the end by getting some insanely bad run luck and back attack luck on my first couple of Charlock dives.
Yeah, that is true. You got to, as far as what you were doing versus what Slamu was doing, you had all of the right exploration right at the start. I think you found every single thing first. Going throughout, were you feeling pretty good about the exploration, or was there, because once you get past that first point, everything opens up, but you have no idea how much time you lost versus your opponent in that initial zone?
Yeah, I felt good once I realized everything I had found, and honestly, going back and forth, I would go one direction, keep exploring, and then when I died, I'd just go back the other direction, and it worked out pretty well in finding things. I think the only thing I didn't find all seed was Rumbledar. But once I found Cantlin, once I saw where those coordinates were, which that was quite hilarious. Once I got that and was like, okay, let's push north and see what it is. It was just a straight walk up, find Dirt Cave, turn in everything, find Charlock, and then I was in business. Again, it all came down to just kind of some bad luck in Charlock and going at just probably slightly a little too low of a level.
Yeah, I will say that is the closest coordinates I've seen to Tantagel myself. I know there has been a seed before where they were literally 0-0, but 0-2 is the new closest for me, at least. Was there any point where you were thinking about getting the princess after you saw that?
No, none whatsoever. I did take the one look at the spike tile there at some point and saw the stone man, and I'm like, that is not an efficient grind in any way, shape, or form. So I don't think I ever went back. And then once I actually saw the coordinates, I'm like, yeah, nope, never going back to Swamp Cave again.
Did you see what the stone man had from an ability standpoint?
I believe they had, I think it was DL2 breath, if I'm not mistaken.
It was DL2 and heal.
Oh, I never saw the heal. I saw the DL2 once, and I think I died to it immediately.
Yeah, I popped in there to try to grind at, I think, 14 and just gave up. It was like, the overworld is better than this at this point, so.
Yeah, that area around Cantlin with the red dragons and the golems is what got me to 17, so worked out pretty well in the end. But again, just if I had done that a little earlier, I might have been able to pull this race out. The last, I took a gamble play and it didn't pay off.
Yeah, those golems and reds took me from 16 to 18 before I dove, so.
Yeah, I thought about going to 18 after seeing what little of a level 17 was, but in the game, they said you'd already finished, so I was like, you know what? That little bit of extra power is enough as long as I don't get low roll after low roll like I did my first attempt. And sure enough, I think the lowest roll I got on that second, that final run was a 13, so definitely a lot better rolls that time.
Yeah, you swung almost identical to me, except for I had 5 more AP than you did.
Yeah, I think my first dive I had, I think I only had like 2 swings that were over 10. Everything else was like low rolls almost. I think 7s and 8s for the most part. And I got down to where I had 2 heal wards left. I was my personal count. I was only at about 95. And I'm like, that's not going to make it. And just try to throw a couple hurt wards to see if I can get lucky. And alas, it just wasn't to be.
Well, guys, an extremely well-run race. Again, GG's to you both. Really exciting for us here in the booth. I know chat enjoyed it. Any final thoughts about the seed?
Nothing on the seed. Just again, thank you guys for putting on the late night restream. I don't know how I got selected to get the double restream today, but if that's what chat wants to see, chat can see all the slam they want to see.
I mean, you are a ranked runner in this slam move. Of course, they're going to want to see you.
That doesn't mean anything.
But yes, definitely thank you to Kamion Reno Kai for the restream, Aaron to you too and Bob Pineapple MD for the commentary, Vinicus for the tracking. Thanks for putting on this wonderful show. It's I'm very much a newbie in the tournament, and I've already had 3 restreams, so you guys can stop now. I'm good. But thanks so much for taking the time to do so.
Well, absolutely. And checking ahead here for tomorrow, for Friday, we got several races coming up for you. We've got Big Slamoo yet again coming at you here at 5 p.m. And then after that, yours truly, Bob Pineapple versus Centroid. Then we have JJ Schmidt 77 versus Scarlet Shadow, and Archfield Monk versus Fred Coughlin. And that is tomorrow's lineup card. We've got a lot of races coming at you over the weeks as we get through these group stages. A lot getting crammed in here early, but we're going to have races wall to wall, I think, over the next few weeks here.
Yeah, this is super exciting. Sorry to throw in one. It's all the way out on Sunday, but can't miss one is Juf Feluvi. Juf has quietly snuck up and been performing really well early on, so that's a must-watch on Sunday at 9:30.
Yeah, the one good thing about this tournament is every group, there's no clear-cut person who's going to win any particular group. Everybody's got a good mix of veterans who've been in a lot of tournaments and people who are new to the community but have been putting in the work and could sneak away with any match. So every match is going to be great to watch, and it's going to be fun to see how the group stage turns out.
Yes, I for one am excited to see. I believe tomorrow, we still have a decent amount tomorrow, and I think Saturday's a little light. So if you want to schedule a race on Saturday, it might work out.
And it looks like we're going to be rating Dr. Mr. Holmes here. So any final thoughts, Aaron?
No, great race. I love watching both of you. I think Gambit, you did extraordinarily well in this race, I think, for most of it. And I rewatched this, and don't listen to any doubters that might have come from me. I think you did an extraordinarily good job. So wonderful to do the announcing.
And likewise, well, GG's again to you both. For our tracker, Vinicus, for our restreamer, Kamion Renikai, and my broadcast partner, Aaron, to you too. I have been Bob Pineapple, MD, and we are signing off.
Good night.